In the meantime, now President Biden, he may not get the tax hikes that he wants until after the next presidential election, which is obviously a risk for other reasons. Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman is here to explain why can't Washington get on the same page with the president on this plan?
It's really, can the Democrats get on the same page? And the answer is no, they can't. We're probably going to hear some discussion during the next 4 or 5 weeks about Democrats trying to pass what you might call a Build Back Smaller package, which would include some of Biden's priorities that he was unable to get passed last year. And one factor driving all this conversation is Senator Joe Manchin, the pivotal Democrat from West Virginia, who keeps telling reporters and other people at the Capitol, here's what I might be able to vote for. And he said recently, I could vote for an increase in the corporate tax rate from 21 to 25% rather. He could vote for an increase in the capital gains rate. And Manchin, of course, was the guy who kind of killed Biden's legislation last year when he finally said in late December, I just can't vote for this. It's too expensive. It's too gimmicky and so on. But even though Manchin now says maybe he could do something like this, we're now in an election year. There are at least 5 Democrats in the Senate who are in tight races and seem very unlikely to vote for any tax increase this year. So the high likelihood is Democrats once again get nothing done. This will all kind of be over by midsummer. They won't get anything done at that point. And then it seems very likely that Republicans will win at least one chamber in the midterms, probably the House. There's no chance of Republicans voting for a tax hike. So if there is ever going to be a tax hike, President Biden or another Democrat is going to have to win the presidential election in 2024. He's going to have to get Congress back on the Democratic side. And then maybe in 2025, we will revisit all this.
Rick, tax hikes, doesn't this come at the worst possible time for Democrats and, of course, President Biden ahead of the midterm elections when guys like me, the average folk out there are paying $10 a pop for deodorant?
Brian, I'd say you're above average, honestly. But that's another problem. I mean, this is just not the time to be raising taxes with inflation at 8.5%. I mean, it's not clear that if you raise taxes, it would make inflation worse. But what do voters want right now? They really don't want any of the Biden priorities or tax hikes to pay for them. They want inflation to go down. That is, I would say, the number 1, 2, and 3 priority of voters. Biden, I think, realizes he's got a problem. I'm just not sure there's a lot he can do about it. But inflation will be the decisive thing in the November midterm elections. And if it sticks around, could be decisive in 2024 as well.
Yeah, I even saw inflation in the new Lamborghini I purchased. Rick, I'm going to pick you up over the weekend. We'll go play some golf. Yahoo Finance here, columnist Rick Newman. We'll talk to you soon.